Enjoy our beginner's guide to windsurfing. We recommend that you learn in a safe environment and, if possible, take a lesson from a trained professional. This will make your learning experience a lot more fun and a lot more productive. This video is going to look at the very basics of windsurfing, what you might encounter as a beginner, from your kit and how to carry it down towards the water, to getting on the board in the shallows, turning around and sailing in a straight line. Before we go on the water, we need to look at the equipment we're going to use. This is a sail, and what you can see with the sail running from the top to the bottom, we have the mast. The bit that I'm held onto here is the boom, and then connected to the boom and the bottom of the mast we have the uphaul. This is what we pull the sail out of the water with. When handling the sail, keep in mind the direction the wind is coming from. We need to make sure that the mast or the foot of the sail is facing into the wind. When we lift the sail, we always hold it by the mast and we put our other hand on the boom. Keep the mast into the wind to stay in control. If we don't, and we turn around and the wind gets to the other side of the sail will backwind and we will lose control. Stand the sail upright with the mast into the wind to check the height of the boom. It should be roughly about shoulder height. A nice way of testing is to put your arm over the top of the boom. It should come up to your armpit. When it goes onto the board, the boom should be shoulder level. If it needs adjusting, open the clamp at the front of the boom, and then you can move the boom either higher or lower depending on your needs. When we're learning as a beginner, it helps to have a big floaty beginner's board. It's nice and wide, has lots of volume and is very stable. If you imagine a line running from front to back down the middle of the board, that's the centre line. With your feet on it or either side in the centre of a board, you'll be the most stable. Try not to stand too further forwards or back or to the side, otherwise the board will tip up and you'll fall in. In the centre you have the UJ, what you use to connect the sail to the board. At the back of the board we have a fin to help us go in a straight line, and in the centre we have a dagger board. If you pull the handle towards the back of the board, it brings out a large central fin out of the bottom of the board. To retract the fin, push it towards the front of the board. It's used to help stabilise us and keep us going in a straight line. When lifting the board, we have to be careful because it's heavy. You may find it easier to lift in pairs, with one at the front and then one at the back. However, if you're feeling strong or you haven't got a partner, you can hold on to the dagger board in the centre of the board. Here the board should balance as you pick it up. Before we put the board and sail together, we need to attach the UJ onto the board. This is sometimes called a deck plate or a base. Before putting it on the board, check there's no cracks in the rubber and that it's not likely to break. On the end, there's a nut and a bolt. Undo the nut so it sits on the end of the bolt and insert it into the mast track. When it's in the middle, tighten the base by twisting it clockwise. You want it to be firmly on the board. To attach the board and the sail together, place the sail downwind of the board, tip the board on its edge and slot the bottom of the mast onto the UJ. There is a pin and you should hear it click into place. To disconnect the sail, push the button on the extension and pull the mast away. When leaving the kit on land, make sure the board is upwind of the sail and then flip the board over. To get the board and sail into the water, you need to walk towards the mast and pick up the boom. Pull the sail towards the back of the board and lift so the fin is not touching the floor. You should then be able to walk towards the water. Make sure when carrying the sail, the wind blows over the mast first. When you are deep enough so that the fin will not touch the bottom, you can put the kit down. First of all, we want to look at getting on the board and turning around. So let's look at the secure position and steering. When you're deep enough, make sure the dagger board is down. Make sure you're opposite the sail with your back to the wind. Place your hands on the centre line a shoulder width apart and climb onto the board. Hold onto the uphaul for support before standing on the centre line with your feet shoulder width apart. To pull the sail up, bend your knees and lean back slightly, working the uphaul hand over hand until you pull the sail up out of the water slowly. When the sail is out of the water, hold onto the mast with both hands below the boom. This is our secure position. Keep your head up, your arms straight and your legs bent, with your feet a shoulder width apart either side of the mast. Keep your back straight with a good posture. From this secure position, we can steer the board. Lean the sail towards the back of the board to turn the nose in towards the wind, and lean the sail towards the nose of the board to turn away from the wind. With the sail at 90 degrees to the board will point across the wind. Now we can look at turning 180 degrees. From our secure position, lean the sail towards the back of the board, taking small shuffling steps around the mast. Make sure you keep your head up, looking towards where you want to go. Keep your knees bent and your arms extended. Keep turning until you're on the secure position on the new side of the board. This turn is called a tack. Notice with the tacks how you lean the sail across the back of the board. Here we will lean the sail across the front of the board to do a jibe. The difference is the nose turns downwind. When jibing, you often go downwind. So as a beginner, it's best to tack. We're now going to look at the sailing position. From the secure position, with the board pointing across the wind, take your front hand off and place it onto the boom. Take our back hand off and step back along the centre line. Your back foot should be on the centre line, your front foot facing forwards by the mast. Keep the rig in front of you and at 90 degrees to the board. From here, we need to pull the sail to the balance point. Look forwards, pull the rig across in front of you so that it's balanced. Put your back hand a shoulder's width on the boom and gently start to pull the back of the sail towards you. When you feel the wind fill the sail, drop your weight low over your flexed back leg. Keep your front leg and your arms extended. Look forwards where you want to go and twist your body to face forwards. Head, shoulders and hips facing the front. From the sailing position, we might need to turn around. Let go with our back hand and place it onto the mast. Step into the secure position. From here, we can do a tack so that the board is facing the way we came, and we step back into our sailing position. To stop, we're going to gently lower the sail into the water. Getting the kit on dry land. Pick the sail up with the wind blowing across the mast. Pick up the back of the board, lifting the fin, and hold on to the boom. Walk out of the water without dragging the fin or the sail. Put the kit down on the beach, making sure the sail is downwind of the board. We then flip the board over so that the sail and board are secure.